Heaven's true king, Enel encounters Christ. Setting, Skypiea after his defeat. After his crushing defeat by Luffy, Enel and Neru departed Skypiea aboard the Ark Maxim, ascending toward the endless Verth. The fairy Verth he believed would fulfill his divine ambition. What he found, however, was not a paradise, but an empty moon. There, Enel faced silence, solitude, and growing madness. In his arrogance, he had declared himself a god. Yet on this distant desolation, no one worshipped him. One evening, while wandering the ruins of the ancient city of Birka on the moon, Enel entered a chamber filled with crumbling murals and carvings. This was not the presence of a mere king, nor a rival god, but something utterly beyond. Jesus Christ, full of compassion and truth, looked upon Enel with love, not condemnation. The conversation, a god meets the true God. Enel, who are you? You radiate more power than anything I've felt. Are you another god of the Verth? Jesus, I am not a god, Enel. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the one true God you've unknowingly longed for, not to conquer me, but to know me. Enel, I've ruled from the sky, cast judgment with thunder, been worshipped. What is left for someone like me? I was a god. Jesus, you judged others to build yourself. You struck fear instead of love. But I came not to destroy, but to save. Even you, Enel, are not beyond redemption. You thought you ruled heaven, but you never knew the king who made it. Enel, angrily, I am mighty. I cannot bow. Jesus, gently, then you will remain alone, surrounded by the silence of a kingdom built on pride. But if you lay your crown down, if you let me reign in your heart, I will give you a true kingdom, not one of power, but of eternal love. Enel fell silent. The lightning within him grew dim. For the first time he wept, not out of humiliation, but revelation. He saw the depth of his emptiness and the glory of someone far greater. The transformation. When the vision ended, Enel remained changed. The Ark Maxim no longer hummed with ambition. He spent time among the automata on the moon, not ruling but serving, restoring life and repairing what had been lost. He carved scriptures into the moon's walls in his native tongue, stories of a man named Jesus who healed the sick, forgave sinners, and walked not in thunder, but in humility. Enel eventually returned to the Blue Sea in secret. No longer calling himself a god, he traveled as a humble man bearing knowledge of the true heaven. He wandered the grand line, sometimes clashing with those who still sought domination, but never out of pride, only to protect the innocent and spread the message he had been given. Impact on the One Piece World 1. Skypiea's renewal. Enel returned to Skypiea anonymously, helping the people rebuild and reconcile the Shandians and Sky Islanders, who began to gather to hear stories of the Sky King who gave his life. Toop of the Straw Hats. Rumors spread of a former warlord of lightning who now healed with his hands instead of destroying. Luffy would one day encounter him again, surprised and even skeptical, but Enel offered no fight, only food, laughter, and stories of peace.